Scripts. Good scripts. Welcome back to episode 6 of the Project Dawnbreaker series, where I'm creating an animated short from scratch, doing everything: the scripting, the storyboarding, concept art, animation, 3D modeling, environment design, absolutely everything. Audio, all that is going to happen. I'm going to teach you what I learn along the way. But today we are going to be discussing the script writing process. And I have already created a script, but this one is for a script without any dialogue. Now, there are a couple pieces of dialogue, but the principles that we're going to discuss in this video are mostly about having a script without a dialogue. Hey, my name's Ethan. I am a product designer and animator. I work on full CGI adverts for various products and companies. But today I am going to be showing you through the script writing process. We are going to be changing my script from this to this. So we're adding in a title sequence and we are creating a much more interesting script. This one has very little dialogue and it conveys the emotion of what the characters are going through much better. So today, if you would like to learn this, it's from a comment that I got on my last video asking for something similar. So please sit back and enjoy, and yeah, let's get into it. I just wanted to briefly go over formatting for a screenplay, because if you're looking at mine thinking, why does it look like that? You're not alone. You know, a script is white with black text. It's formatted pretty differently, but if you're working on your own, use your creativity. You don't have to go crazy with the formatting of your script. If you're working with a team, on the other hand, it's important to keep to the standards that have been set since the 80s. So we have the 12-point Courier font. It's monospaced, so each letter is the same width, which makes it very easy to read. You have the 1.5-inch margins on the left, and then the 1-inch margins on the top and the bottom and the right side of the writing. You've got caps when it's audio or a character name or, you know, an underlined all caps titles, slugline heading, whatever it's called. You've got locations, you've got all of this information. I've kept all of the information and the caps and underlining all consistent for my screenplay. The only real difference is it's not in the right font and it is written in Notion, which is not a screenplay writing application. So there are 7 basic elements in a screenplay. We have the slugline or the heading, which it tells you what the sequence is. It has the name of the sequence, and you'll have the location kind of included in this or under it. So in my case, it's interior, hideout, garage, night. So that is the title sequence and slugline. Then you have action lines. So an action line would be what the character is described to do. So in my case, we have a mother opening a garage door, and that would be the action line. With most screenplays, you want to keep them in under 3 sentences. So it kind of keeps the script from becoming a novel, and it makes you really shove everything down. If you use references like the Wall-E script or any other script, even ones with dialogue, you'll see that some screenplay writers, they don't listen to this. And if you have a scene that needs, or an action that needs more lines, then just add more lines. Just try not to make it a full novel and, you know, go above and beyond. Try and keep it really succinct and easy to read and understand, and only write the important things that progress the character's feelings. Because when you're writing a script without character dialogue, obviously the actions, sometimes they have to be a little bit longer. You have to add the important parts, maybe the facial features that a character is feeling. Obviously, it's not the best to write how a character's feeling, because that's not going to come across in an animation or in a film. You really want to write the actions, the way that that character is displaying that feeling. So maybe it is a facial expression that they make. Maybe they're frowning as they're doing something that would normally seem joyous. Or maybe it's a sound that they're making. Maybe they sigh before they do something. So those kinds of things are what you want to add in the action lines. You don't want to be describing, you know, the feelings of a character. You want your visual storytelling and your audio storytelling to really be the thing describing the feelings. Next, we have dialogue. Obviously, my screenplay does not have any dialogue. It has one thing which is also an audio, which is a screen. So it doesn't really happen in my script, but if you look at other scripts, I'll put up some examples of what dialogue should look like. We also have parentheticals, which are used to explain who a character's talking to. pauses in a dialogue or a performance, like a wince, or you could write a feeling if you really wanted to, like calmly or angrily. I don't think I have any parentheticals in my script. I wrote this a few days ago or a few weeks ago. I can't really remember, I don't think so. But they can be really important, and I'll put up an example right now of where a parenthetical has been used in a screenplay that you've seen. And then we have transitions. I do have transitions in my old one, and I do have some here. So transitions could be like fade to black or dissolve to something, or, you know, match to this. I believe I have fade to black in my, well, I have blackout on tune beat, which is correct. I should write fade to black there. That's technically incorrect. But yeah, you see what I mean. At the end of a scene or the end of a sequence, you can write how it's going to cut or dissolve or whatever's going to happen. And then we have wording on a screen. So when you're writing wording on a screen, it is normally written as all caps and underlined. It'll say title, and that's how the person reading the script knows that it's not just an action line or whatever. And then you have whatever's written. So I have this in my screenplay, in my title sequence. You can see here, it's kind of like the credits, but it's at the beginning. So we have the screenplay written by Ethan Bentley, and of course, this is how they know that it's a title and it's not just something that's being said or whatever. So yeah, and of course the words are normally in all caps, which I've missed out on this one for some reason, but the rest of them are all caps. If you, like me, are doing a screenplay just for yourself, then you don't have to stick to this format. You can write it like a novel, but personally, I still think it's very important to try and follow the formatting so that when other people read it, when you share it with your friends or family, or if it blows up eventually, you have a somewhat legible script that people can read. And it also makes it easier if you wrote yours like I did. Have a look at this. I wrote my screenplay 3 years ago, October 25th, 2021. So when I go back and read my script, if it was just a novel, I wouldn't know which scenes where, you know, you can forget lots of things. So now it's October 8th was when I edited it, and I was able to read everything in the script, know exactly where things were placed, what was writing, what was titles, what was an action line, because it's all written in the correct format. And I don't have to refer to my own memory for this. I can look to the standards that were set in the 80s. So there's lots and lots of information set out for this. So now that the basics are out of the way, how do we add meat to a script without any dialogue? And of course, this is my personal experience. Yours may differ, and it probably will, and it's probably not the most efficient or best way. But for me, easiest way to start is to just write. Write down, forget about the standards, write down like a novel, the story that you have. This is what I did. Found it really easy when I was rewriting the script to write down the story and then take away the key points and add those into the action lines, take away the key sounds, add those into the action lines, because writing a script without any dialogue, you really have to focus on the visual storytelling and the audio storytelling. So you don't want to just be saying, this character is sad. He walks sadly along the road. You really have to explain how this person is displaying this. Maybe you would write something more like, this character kicks his feet. Let's say James, like James Bond came to mind. You know, James is kicking his feet as he walks down the street. James sighs before saying, thank you, I appreciate it. You can explain the way they're feeling through their actions and through audio cues. And you don't want to completely fill up the script with a bunch of extra information, so only write the ones that progress the character's emotions and feelings and the story. Okay, so write your script down like a novel, then format it, and then add in or take away any visual audio cues that you think are important. That is personally how I would do it. Remember that the main point of your script is to communicate the character's feelings, or maybe it's the environment changing, depends on what the story is, but remember the main point of your story. Why are you telling this story? That's the information that needs to be conveyed in this script. For silent films, I find that I focus on audio and visual communication especially. So I write the character actions and the sounds, and sometimes they can be different. For example, in one of my sequences, it's looking up at the face of the helmet. You can see the mother's face through the reflection of the tunnel on the visor. The tears are falling from her eyes. This is my action sequence. I'm telling the character that she's sad. I'm not saying she's sad. I'm saying that she has tears falling from her eyes. And the reason why I'm saying this is because typically in a scene where you're looking up at the character, they seem powerful. So if I just have the camera looking up at the character, so this is like a POV style, it's like a dash cam looking at the character on a motorbike. If I just had that shot and you couldn't see the tears, then you'd think that the character's in control. If you have nice revs running in the background, you'd feel like the character's in control, they know what they're doing, they're riding the bike, they seem stable. That's what that camera angle shows. And so I wanted to contrast that with what the character's feeling. And to do that, I visually described crying. You can see the tears falling from her eyes. This is one way you can add meat to a dialogue without just writing down the feelings. She rides her motorbike sadly. That wouldn't really make sense. Maybe for a novel, but not for a screenplay. Because everything that you write has to be conveyed in an animation or in a film with acting, and so these feelings need to be displayed in actions or audios or some kind of a tangible way. Thank you so much for watching this. This is my script. If you would like to receive my script and read through it, or maybe you just want to compare my script to your script, you just want to see how I wrote it, then let me know and I'll add a link in the description for you to download it. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please add any feedback. Next week we're doing previs, or not next week, next video. We are going to be creating previs, which is based off another comment that I recently received. So I am excited to get into that one because I already know, because I've started it, that there's going to be a lot of changes and it's going to be exciting. It's kind of the next big step. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends and family. And if you're one of the very few people who's gotten to the end of the video, then please subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you've gotten this far, you're probably like me on a journey of creating something, whether it's an animation or a short film with acting from scratch. So thank you so much for watching, and please comment. Let me know what I can do better. Let me know what you want to see next. I've already got previs from a comment of the next thing that I'm doing, so let me know if there's anything else that you want to be discussed. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.